Hi, this is Sarah doing another episode of Pulling Back the Curtain. And where I'm answering your questions about shamanism, about life coaching, or about anything that I've written about or talked about. This question came in. Do your animal spirit guides change depending on what you're journeying about? So depending on the question that you're asking. And I would say yes, they certainly can. I always invite people to, when they begin on this path of exploring journeying and connecting with, for example, a core beastie, or making their first connection with a spirit animal using via journeying, I always invite people to really deepen that connection with that one spirit and really journey several times to connect with them and to listen to whatever their teachings are, receive their healing, etc., and then apply those lessons to your life and see what happens. Shamanism, after all, is sort of a science, if you will, where it's not something that you take on blind faith. It's something that you experience firsthand, and then you apply the lessons given, or the helpful advice maybe doled out and see if it assists you. And if it does, well, wonderful. Then you've forged a great connection. And then don't be surprised, yes, if once you've done connected deeply with one of your animal spirits, that others begin to show up in different ways. So each animal spirit has its own particular wisdom, its own particular gifts, and things that it can share with you. I remember when I was quite early on this path, I had connected with a mother bear as the first animal, and I had returned to her several times over and over again over several months, asking for advice and for help with certain things, and finding it really helpful. And then finally I journeyed one day to visit her, and I was surprised and actually a little bit frightened when a gigantic tiger showed up in this journey. And really, I don't see tiger very often, but that particular day, that tiger showed up to give me a lesson about social media and Facebook. And at the time, I was feeling a little bit exhausted and drained by being out there all the time, and the tiger really showed up to show me how to kind of disappear from view, because tigers, of course, are experts at lying low and sort of being in solitude. And that was really the message that I needed. So the minute I started taking some of that tiger's advice, life got a lot easier for me during that period. So that's just an example of where a new animal spirit can show up. And sometimes they come for a while. Sometimes, they may become an animal that visits you much more often. In that particular case, the tiger was just there for a little period to give me that lesson. So yes, the answer to your question is yes, your animal spirits can change, and new ones can show up all the time, but it can get overwhelming. So I recommend you really focus on building sort of one relationship at a time, and that is pretty much it. So if you have any more questions or something else that maybe I can answer, I would love to take a stab at it. And so thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.